Hello, my name is Crystal McKinney. I am a policy analyst, and I was brought in by the president of Student Financial Services at XYZ University. Recently, there have been rising concerns about student and alumni financial success following graduation, particularly involving default rates at XYZ University. The vice president of financial services brought me in because too many student loan borrowers are defaulting on their loans. Over 40 million students have borrowed to pay for tuition, which adds up to $1.8 trillion in student debt. Now, there are times when a student has to borrow above and beyond tuition, such as buying more expensive technology to give them an advantage in their schoolwork, or going to the gym, or getting more nutritious meals, and also like life expenses, covering their bills or going out with friends so they're not just studying all the time. Now, with students possibly borrowing too much, the as is condition of XYZ University is an increase in default rates. Stacy, she's a recent graduate. She came forward. She is a loan borrower who has defaulted on her loan, unfortunately. She had no idea how much over borrowing would harm her financial state. So she's gone into default, but she's also having trouble keeping up with simple living expenses. Loan borrowers are very worried about their future. Another student, John, recently withdrew from his program because of the overwhelming idea that he may fall victim to default as well. Typically, debt is brought on and consumed while the student is in school and then paid back once they start working, but John will not get this opportunity because he has dropped out. Um, Defaulting loans can stem from several factors, but the main reason we have found students going into default is because they're borrowing too much initially. Now, student debt nationally is around 1.6 trillion, and that's more than any other type of debt that Americans hold, which there is an expectation of an increase in the future. XYZ University has been directly compared to the national average, and the national average in 2019 was 2.3%. Now, there was also some regional comparisons to XYZ University. Since it is located in Virginia, the comparisons should include North Carolina, Maryland, and Tennessee. The regional comparisons were compared to schools of about the same size. And in North Carolina and Appalachian State University in 2019, their default rate was 17.68%. Maryland at Townsend University was 17.29%. And Tennessee at Middle Tennessee State University was 17.29%. Now, when we talk about comparisons to XYZ University, their 2019 default rate was 26%. So this puts XYZ University in a bad position because if the cohort default rates are 30% or higher 3 years in a row, then they will lose their capability of authorization to provide federal aid to their students. And with XYZ University being in a lower income area, this will really hurt your enrollment. The current policy at XYZ University has been reviewed and is found to be flawed. The attendance has been low for quite some time. So the marketing team has advertised anyone can come to the college and obtain loans for education due to the desire to increase attendance or enrollment. 97% of students at XYZ University has chosen to take the maximum amount of student loan funding possible for the 2018-2019 school year. The current policy does not require students to be educated in their borrowing. Possibly implementing this may help. Also, there is no career seeking help. The student is on their own after they graduate to find a job. In addition, there is no aid in loan repayment. The student, again, is on their own after graduation to make these payments in full by themselves. Now I would like to take the time to go through alternatives. In each alternative, we will be focusing on minimizing negative effects, minimizing administrative cost, and minimizing loan defaults, since this is the central idea of this policy change. Now, to provide student loan borrowing education, we project that 0 students will drop out due to fear of loan borrowing per semester. This will increase our annual income $60,000 from tuition gained from students not dropping out. 2 employees will need to be hired for education and preparation of the materials. This will cost about $200,000 a year. And then also 55% less students are going to be borrowing the maximum loan amount due to the increased education. And this will increase our annual income $250,000 per year, giving us a total of $110,000 annually as a gain. Now for the projected outcomes of implementing a loan repayment assistance programs. So minimizing negative effects, 3% of alumni will default on their loans instead of 26%. This is going to increase the income for XYZ University by $1 million annually because of an increase in reputation. It will increase enrollment and bring more financial gain for the institution. XYZ University will be responsible for 50% of repayment assistance, with partnering with other employers that are responsible for the other 50%. This will cost XYZ University $2.5 million per year, but $2.25 million of that will be gained back because 75 more students will be enrolled in these lower income career majors that are really hard to fill. Now, with minimizing loan defaults, student will borrow 50% less due to increased assistance provided by XYZ University and partnering employers. This will bring in $250,000 annually, with more students attending due to increased enrollment and reputation for XYZ University, giving XYZ University a total of $1 million annually as a gain. The last alternative provided is implementing a career services program, and the projected outcome is 3% of students in default per cohort instead of the 26% that we have now. This will increase our revenue, or XYZ's revenue, by $1 million annually. With 3% of students defaulting on their loans, there will be an increase in reputation. The projected outcome of minimizing administrative costs, 3 office spaces will be needed, which will have no cost due to having the office spaces already on campus, but $150,000 annually will need to be put out for hiring employees that are knowledgeable in this area. For minimizing loan defaults, 95% of alumni will be satisfied due to the job placement gained through graduate surveys. We'll gain this through graduate surveys. And then It's going to be $50,000 of an annual gain through alumni satisfaction due to like donations. They want to contribute back to the university. So in total, this will give XYZ University $900,000 annually as a gain. Now, on to the recommendation. Student loan borrowing education will not guarantee lower default rates. It doesn't really meet the criteria either and is not cost effective. It's not as cost effective as the other alternatives. So it should not be considered an alternative due to not guaranteeing lower default rates. We can give the students the education for their borrowing process, but it doesn't mean they're going to follow what we suggest. Also, with the career services, because students may not use the career services program that is provided to them, again, it's not guaranteed that the default rates will go down because they will not use the services 100%. And then also there's the position of what if there's no jobs? There's not a guaranteed job placement. So career services, again, should not be considered as an alternative. The final alternative of implementing loan repayment assistance is not only the best cost option, it gives you the most gain, but it is the only guarantee that default rates would lower due to students graduating with repayment assistance. Loan repayment assistance will increase enrollment, fill the lower paying career fields within the community, and it's the best alternative provided. So my suggestion is to go with the loan repayment assistance option. I thank you for your time, and these are all of the references used throughout this presentation. Have a good day.